Hey Audrey and Bud, the boat looks great. And your issues are, yeah, they're super, super minor. But so for the winches, I have them put back together. Both your primary and your secondary on the starboard side are working. A breaker was stripped for the secondary. For the primary, the button kind of needed to be serviced. It's common, but I took it apart and I'll show you what I did. So this is one of Audrey's concerns, this laminate. It's just a cheap laminate. There is a stain on it, and it could be resolved so easily. I mean, even by myself or one of your handymans, I would just order a color off on it, what color it is, or maybe pull it off and take it to a hardware store and just replace this laminate. I mean, it's probably $10 in material and 1 hour in labor. I would not order it from Group Beneteau. Hey bud, so I have the winches working. This one was actually a trip breaker. I'm on starboard aft. And this one, she needs to be serviced. I took her apart and I could tell that there's some things sticking, but what happens is these little rubber grommets underneath the 1 and 2, they start to deteriorate after a while. We can order new grommets. But so the winches are working. For the genset roll water strainer, I see what you mean about that cap. I would just replace it, man. It was definitely over tightened. I'm going to turn off the raw water supply for that genset so no raw water can get to it, and don't try to start it, of course. And then I'll come back tomorrow and try to replace the whole assembly, unless you have a better idea. But anyways, I am tidying up, and I'm sorry you're having so many issues, but the boat looks great. So we have your secondary working and your primary. And Audrey, for the laminate, it's a laminate. It's a cheap laminate down in the galley. Anybody can do it. It's something that you would have in a home. I mean, I could do it. But I would just pull that laminate and go to Home Depot and see what the closest match they have. And if you wanted to do so it would match the little L-shaped forward of the galley where the fridge is, or the top loading freezer, you could replace that too. Or if you wanted to do it how Beneteau used to do it, that was all Corian. But it's something a carpenter could do very, very easily. But I'm sure there's a way you could get that bleach stain out. I mean, you could obviously paint it with some kind of flexible paint that gives, but I would replace it because it's so cheap and so easy.